Welcome to More Than Muscle, the channel where you need to be if you want to be losing 5 to 10 kilos in the next 12 weeks. In this video, we're going to be teaching you how to use the weighing scales to your advantage. So why you shouldn't be scared of weighing yourself. Essentially, the total number on the scales is not necessarily body fat. Remember, your body weight will fluctuate on a day-to-day basis. And ultimately, the number on the scales is a useful number to measure progress. The other thing to understand is the number on the scales is a useful data point for you to know how you're progressing with your weight loss. So why are the scales important? Well, number one, you need to disconnect the number from yourself. The number is not you, it's just a data point that helps us understand where your weight loss journey is going. So why do I think the scales are really important? Well, fundamentally, if weight loss is a goal, then understanding where your weight is important. But the second thing that is a priority for me is you understanding that the number on the scales is not you, and you should be disconnecting yourself from that. Over the last decade, I've helped many people with their weight loss, and I've also helped them use the scales correctly and seen really good results. All of them have been doing it like this. They use the same scales. They weigh themselves at the same time, in the same place, on the same flooring. They weigh themselves fasted in the morning, naked preferably. As I mentioned earlier in this video, your weight will fluctuate on a day-to-day basis. Now, the things that I'm going to mention now impact your weight fluctuations. The first one is the dreaded carbohydrate. The second one is your electrolyte balance. The third one is obviously too much food. The fourth one for you females is the menstrual cycle. The fifth one is a lack of bowel movements. And the final one is liquid intake, so things like water. As I mentioned earlier in this video, your weight will fluctuate on a daily basis. What I want to talk about now are the things that will impact your weight fluctuations. So firstly, it's important to note that the overarching thing here for weight gain is too many calories in versus calories burnt out. It's important to know that. The dreaded carbohydrates. Now, of course, I like carbohydrates. They're really good for you and they have a lot of health benefits and energy promotion for your body. However, for every gram of carbohydrate that you ingest, you attract 3 grams of water to the cell. So that's 4 grams. So as you can imagine, if I eat a lot of carbohydrates, I'm actually gonna hydrate my body. It says it within the word carbohydrate, and hold on to a little bit more water weight. Now, fear not. Again, this is in the name, carbohydrate. It keeps you hydrated, and this is good for recovery and performance. Remember, carbs are your first energy source, so they're good for you. So we're saying keep them in your diet. The weight gain you see from carbohydrates is not necessarily body fat. Another one is the volume of food that you ingest. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about calories because a lot of food that you eat is lower in calories and you can eat a lot of it. Think of things like stir fries, think of things like salads, think of things like white potatoes. If you're eating a lot of volume of food and that is sitting within your stomach, then obviously the mass of the food is going to contribute to your weight fluctuation and weight gain. And again, because this is not associated with total calories, this could also be a reason why you're putting weight on and it's not body fat. Electrolyte balance also interacts with your body's natural water table. If you have foods that are higher in sodium, higher in salt, then you'll attract more water to the cell, similar to the way carbs do. You'll be holding this water weight, and ultimately, again, if you stand on the scales, this will contribute to weight gain. Again, not from body fat. Stress is another big thing that interferes with your body's water table. So if you're lacking sleep, having stimulants like caffeine, or for you females on your menstrual cycle, you'll find that you'll be holding more water, meaning, again, fluctuations in your body weight, not from body fat. If you haven't gone to the loo and you've had an infrequent bowel movement, again, that's volume of food within your stomach, again contributing to body weight that is not from body fat. And finally, another obvious one, if you've just drunk loads of liquids, then of course, mass, if you're standing on the scales, you're going to see an increase in the fluctuation of your body weight, not from body fat. Fear not though, this can pass. So what does this all really mean? It means that your weight will fluctuate based on the things that happen in your life, whether that's stress, whether that's too much food volume, whether that is high sodium, whether that is the amount of carbohydrates that you've ingested. But these things will pass. It's important to understand that your fluctuations will happen on a daily basis, and this is why we suggest that you take an average reading from your scales so that you can truly understand what your weight represents. And you can make good tweaks with your training and your nutrition to ensure progress. So if you found this video useful, please subscribe to the channel. We'll be releasing a new workout and educational video each week. If you want to continue on this journey of losing 5 to 10 kilos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to work with us on a one-to-one basis, there is a link in the bio.